Welcome everyone to Widows Wednesday. And today, you guys, I know it's been a little while since I've chit-chatted with you. Um, Today I decided to call this Widows Wednesday um, just between us girls. And just because mostly, at the beginning, if you haven't seen any of my videos previously, I would encourage you just to start from the beginning and kind of work your way through them. Some of them may be relevant to you, some may not, but I've been hearing a lot of chatter from different widows that are very encouraged by the videos. And honestly, I think about that. I feel that's a very humbling thing when somebody compliments me on a video because I'm just being me. And I feel like uh, when the Lord drops something into me, I have to share it with you. And He's basically just, using my experience, what I've gone through to encourage you or to help you or comfort you to get through something you're dealing with. And I did want to give a little shout out. I got an email that was very encouraging to me, and her name is Kelly. And so I just wanted to say, hey, girl. um, she's doing a wonderful thing and asking God to direct her, and which got me to thinking, of course, again, about my journey through widowhood and the things that I've gone through and been through. So one of those things was, I remember in the beginning, when I started these videos, my husband had already been gone, uh, almost 4 years. So it wasn't, or 3.5 years or somewhere in there. So it wasn't a, quick decision to make these videos. Not at all. In fact, if I can be honest with you, I did not want to do these videos. I also did not want to write a book, which the Lord asked me to do, and I said no for 2.5 years. Girls, yeah, that's me. 2.5 years. Not because me and Bruce were talking about this, not because I felt like I was in rebellion or doing the videos or writing a book. It was to protect myself because there's so much pain involved. And I thought, I can't do it. I can't, I don't, it's not in me, I don't have this in me to do this. And it's interesting because when you decide, that you're not going to do what God's asked you to do, He doesn't let that go. So you'll get little hints here and there and here and there, and hey, little tap tap over here and a little over there, and I'm like, oh, come on, no. Until you finally, girls, give in and do it. But honestly, the greater blessing is being obedient and, doing what God's asked you to do. So what I found, honestly, is by doing that, God blesses me more than I could ever express just from being obedient. I feel so connected to the Lord when I do what He's asked me to do. And not that those things, when whatever it is that the Lord's asking you to do, isn't going to bring a trial or two or trouble, because it could. It very well could. The whole book thing, people say, oh, yeah, I wrote a book. This person wrote a book, blah, 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 blah. It sounds so easy. You're talking 8 or 9 hours a time with our editor. Oh my gosh, it's so much work, and it's so detailed, and it's so, involved and I'm emotionally involved and it's very, wearing on you, and but I know that it will bring the fruit that the Lord would have it bring. So when I think back to these things that I started ages ago, I'm thinking, I can't do it. But honestly, with the Lord, girls, you can do anything He asks you to do. This journey that you're in of widowhood may feel like this is never going to end. I'm always going to feel like I'm always going to be in this hole, you know. But it's a wonderful thing when you realize, hey, wait a second. I'm not always going to be here. God says that He has a better plan for me. I don't have to stay in this awful place. So, Bruce and I had been talking about, looking back and when you feel encouraged to step out and do something like Kelly is going to do. She's going to have some possibly a little widows group and talk about these videos and things like that. And whatever it is that you want to do, if you want to hang out with a few widows, go for a while. I did that too. I started a widows group, called it Widows Circle for a while. And we connected every month and did little things, and we had a great time. And it was a good growing time, a good learning time from each other. And, you really get to hear other people's hearts, the other women's hearts. And what they're going through, because every woman's widow walk is different. We're not all married to the same guy. We all have different husbands. Our lives aren't all the same. uh, and so every situation is going to be different. My children, on the one hand, are adults, you know um, and I have grandchildren. Well, some women, their husbands die and they have little ones. You know, there's so many, some die, they don't have any children, or they have stepkids, or whatever the situation is. Every woman's journey is a little different, but we all have this common thread. We all grieve, we all mourn, and God says, let me help get you out of that. Let me take your hand. Let me be your husband. And I loved this because we were talking about God's promises. When God says He's going to do something, you have His word to back it up that, oh, yes, He is going to do. Check out God's word. I love it. Okay, Hebrews chapter 6, right? Starting at verse 18. So God has given both His promise and His oath. These two things are unchangeable because it is impossible for God to lie. Therefore, we who have fled to Him for refuge can have great confidence as we hold to the hope that lies before us. This hope is strong and trustworthy, an anchor for our souls. God's word is, we can have confidence that when He says He's going to do something in your life, He's going to do it. I would much rather prefer God's way than my way. I have tried it my way, and it doesn't work out so good. But when I finally came to that place, you guys, and I just said, Lord, whatever, I'm tired of telling you no. Whatever it is that you want to do in me, I know it will be for my good. Even in this tragic thing for me, it will be for my good. And even though it's hard to imagine what that might be, you know, um, I know you love me, and I'm going to trust you here. So you take that step, you take that little baby step out and you say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand on God's word. I'm going to stand on God's promises. Hey, start declaring it out. You know what? Start listening. Fill yourself, fill your head, fill your heart, fill your eyes, fill every part of your senses, right, with positive things. Not the trash of the world. That's just trash in, okay? No, start putting the positives in. Listen to positive podcasts, your favorite preachers, um, prophetic words that the Lord uses people prophetically. And check this out. I wanted to share this one little one with you today. So while me and Bruce, we had met April 6th by email. We actually talked April 7th. And the Lord, if you had seen any of the videos prior, the Lord was telling me through other people and ministries that He was doing a new thing in me and that He was going to bring a husband to me. El Shakarino. But I wanted to share what the Lord gave to him, right? Check this out. The daily prophetic word. This was his. He gets one in his email on April. It's a podcast. Oh, hashtag daily prophetic if you're interested. And it says it was for April 23rd. So we started talking on the 7th. This was for him. God is calling you to something new. So don't be surprised if people don't understand it yet. What? Little did he know. Yeah, God's calling you to something new. Don't be surprised if people don't understand it yet. Don't be surprised if you don't understand it yet. Heck, man, I was like, what? And I find it's funny, but I find whenever the Lord starts to do something, He's promised, and I'm seeing little things. All of a sudden, it happens very quickly, and you're like, wait, wait, hold on, wait, I'm not ready. Yeah, it's just cute how God, steps in and takes over and gets you to that place, and you're like, okay, God, I want what you want. I want what you want. Just let that go. Let your fear go. Let whatever it is that your hindrances, whatever you think is, oh, it could be this problem, it could be that problem, I could, whatever. If the Lord wants you to write a book, hey, my friend, start writing. Start typing. Start just saying what's in your heart. Say it out, I want to encourage all you girls. Hey, if I can, trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. You can write something. Even oh, hey, they have these cute little things. I think it's called poetry.com. Maybe you're a poet, I am no poet, but it's funny. But when I was going through that deep, awful, the day, I don't know if it was the day Darrell died or it was the couple of days before he died, I was standing in my kitchen and looking up at my skylight, and these words just poured out of me. And so they're actually in my book. But it was about, beyond the moon, and don't, God, just don't let him go beyond the moon. Don't take him home yet. That sort of a thing. It was just this gut-wrenching thing that came out of me. But you never know what's in you, till you start stepping out, and I want to encourage you, just between us girls, you can do this. You can do this, even if it's just to your friends. Hey, you guys, I wrote this thing, what do you think? Or maybe you're a singer. That is not me. I used to tell my husband, hey, somebody has to listen, and that somebody is me. Because I can't sing. It's funny. But anyway, I just wanted to pop into your world and say hi, and and encourage you, whatever you're facing, whatever you have to do, you can do this. You can do this with God's help. He hasn't forgotten about you. He loves you ever so much. That's what I tell my grandbabies. I love you ever so much. So, all right, girls, and you know what? God bless you all, and don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. And I can't wait. Keep emailing, keep sending, and I love you all. All right, God bless. Bye-bye.